They say life doesn't wait for anyone. They were right. I remember it like yesterday. I was playing Foursquare, trading silly bands, having fun. 1 minute, and then the next. No trace, no explanation. Am I doing the right thing? Am I on the right path? Finding your purpose is not for the weak. It involves confronting untapped potential, confronting your self-image. And when I say untapped potential, I mean you might have social untapped potential. You might be a really good speaker. You don't even know it. You don't even give yourself the chance. Untapped financial potential, untapped physical potential. You might find a pleasure in fitness, but you don't even give yourself that chance. Untapped potential. You might have untapped mental potential. You might be really smart in a certain subject in a certain area. You don't even give yourself the chance to pick up a book. You might have untapped potential in the spiritual area. You don't even give yourself the chance to meditate, to become one and have a deeper connection with your creator. You might have so much untapped potential. Exploring these untapped potentials is not for the weak. It involves stepping out of your comfort zone. What I always think about is when they say, oh, when you go to the gym, your muscles have to go through a discomfort before they could grow. I guess you're not going to grow in comfort. You're not going to grow in a comfortable situation. You're not going to grow doing what you've always done. What did Denzel say? If you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got. And are you even happy with what you got? I'm not saying don't be grateful for it, but are you even happy? Do something else. Do something different. Come on. Stella, get into it, man. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As always, we're going to jump straight into it. Finding your purpose is easy, or is it? There is a world of endless possibilities. So where do we start? Where do you start? In this video, I'm going to talk to two types of people. You either have a whole bunch of things that you want to do and you want to accomplish and you want to achieve, but you don't know which one is the right path. Or on the other hand, you're the type of person that you just don't know. Like you're at ground zero, or you think you're at ground zero. You just don't know what you want to do. I think this video will be helpful for both groups of people. So make sure you watch if you want, and like and comment and subscribe. For the most part, most people seek success, whatever that means to you, if you ever took the time to really define it and to have your own personal definition of what a successful life looks like. Or maybe you never thought about it too hard, or maybe you just adopted someone else's definition of success. Either way, today we're going to break down a couple things regarding finding your purpose. The myth about productivity. The quest to do more, see more, achieve more, be more, start more, finish more will all add to your different roads of possibilities. But which one is the right one? Which one is your purpose? Which one is your calling? But I'm going to ask you this. The act of doing more sometimes, the act of doing more, trying more, taking on new things, more interests can be an act of escape, actually. It could be actually self-sabotage by continually adding to your to-do list of things to do so you don't have to really focus on finishing one thing. Essentially, you have hobbies and interests that you want to try, and you have things to do in your time, so you never feel like you're wasting time, or you never want to feel like you're wasting time. By gathering all these things to feel like you're not wasting your time, you kind of avoid asking, is my time being wasted, or am I on the right path? Because you feel like you have so much to do, so you're not wasting any time. You're not wasting any time. But by doing this, you're avoiding asking yourself, are the things that you're spending time on even worth the time? Is that worth your energy? Is your energy being directed towards the right thing? You see, some people work so hard on things that aren't working. You're working hard, but on things that aren't working. You know you're working hard, and you're like, I'm working hard, but you don't think about how to work smart. Guys, we need to work smarter, not harder. Sometimes you might be like, you don't want to work at all. But if you're going to work smarter, not harder. And basically, the more you feel like you need to fit everything into your schedule, the more you naturally kind of avoid asking yourself, is doing these activities the best use of your time? I'm not saying that you need to drop everything and focus on one thing. I'm not saying you need to specialize just in one area, right? Because what if you're the type that says, but I want to do everything. I want to do everything. I want to try this. I want to learn that. I want to go there. I want to live like this. That's completely fine. That's completely fine. And I know you heard the saying, the jack of all trades masters none. The jack of all trades masters none. Personally, I never liked that saying because the idea of trying to put yourself in a cubicle, put yourself to only focus on one thing, put yourself to only perform one thing makes me sick. Sick to my stomach, fam. But the reason why they say the jack of all trades is the master of none is because the more you expand yourself over different hobbies, interests, ventures, the more diluted your energy becomes to give to each of these things. You might never really get as much footing or as much groundwork in one direction, in one venture, in one hobby as you would if you hyper focused or hyper specialized in it. And I'm not saying to go hyper specialize or hyper focus in one area and sit down and that's it. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is if you're working to find your purpose, this is where we're going to start. If you're the type that wants to do everything, this is where we're going to start. Don't worry, if you don't even know, this will help you too. What should you do? What should you do? Let's sit down and have a think. Also, grab a notebook and a pen because you're going to need it real quick. You're going to write down on one side of the paper everything that you're interested in, all your ideas that you want to accomplish, all the hobbies that you want to pick up, all the hobbies you want to continue, all the it's not a bucket list. All the business, if you have business ventures that you want to pursue or something you want to pursue, something that would lead to a long-term goal, write them down. But make sure it's your original thought. Make sure it's something that you actually want to do. And because you're writing this down and because it's just you are in a safe space. You don't have to write down what you think other people want you to do. Write them down, whether it's not even to make money, even if it's a hobby. And then on the other side of the paper, you're going to take everything that you wrote down and you're going to order them from most important to least important, most important to accomplishing to least important. What needs to get done for you to feel good about life, or so you think, to what's not giving as much. For example, for the longest time since high school, I wanted to learn how to play the violin. I really want to learn how to play the violin, and I will one day. One day. It's not as important for me right now. And this is the thing. The things on the bottom of your list, it's not that you're going to forget about them. It's not that you're going to discard them. It's not that you're going to throw them away. These things are going to be things that are postponed, deferred to a later date. Just a little bit into the future, just a little bit. Because now that you put them in a hierarchy, now that you put them in a hierarchy, you're going to realize what's most important to you. You need to write this down because you could try to do it in your mind, but there's a difference when you see it in a bird's eye view. I want to do this before I do this. I want to do that before I do that. And it's crazy because I had a talk with my friend the other day, and basically like I tell her like my ideas and stuff I want to do. And then she asked me, I forgot how she asked me, but basically she asked me,
what do you want to accomplish first?
I never really took the time to be like, if I accomplish this first, then maybe it would also make accomplishing this easier. This is more important for me personally to accomplish before this. I never took the time to strategically think about the order in which I want to accomplish what I'm setting out to do. I'm going for it, you know? So that's why I'm trying to tell you to write it down and really take a look, really decipher, and really put it in an order that makes sense to you, to your life, and to the way you want to live. Not to anyone else. This doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. One of my favorite YouTubers, he says, how do you explain something that's never been done before? You're here on this earth, essentially, for the first time. So you're not gonna know. Now, after you wrote down your hierarchy of interests, ventures, hobbies, things you just want to accomplish, also write down how you want to live. Not necessarily in material terms. Write it down in layman, simple terms. Like, I want to have the freedom to travel when I want, where I want. I don't want to have to ask a boss for a week. Okay, first of all, because I want a month. Second of all, because it's my time. I have to ask you for my time. But again, we're not going to talk about jobs, bro. We're not going to talk about jobs. Write down in layman terms the terms that you desire to live by, and also go back to these interests, go back to these ventures, these ideas that you have for yourself, and see if accomplishing them will facilitate that type of lifestyle that you want to live. Accomplishing these goals will be great. Accomplishing these interests and stuff will be great. But will that provide me with the life I want to live? Not in that order, it won't. Not in the order I had it. Okay, so let's rewire, let's reframe the things I want to accomplish in the order I want to go to accomplish them, so that it will reflect in a way that will facilitate the life that I'm living. We're trying to find our purpose, but do we even really know what's good for us? Do you even know who you are? The chances are you know how to describe yourself. And these characteristics that you'll describe yourself with is normally based on habits or patterns that you personally carry or that others have pointed out in you. And you also have to remember, when someone points out a characteristic or trait in you, they're most likely projecting, but whatever. If you're shy, you're introverted, you're extroverted, maybe you think you're ugly, maybe you think you're pretty, maybe you've been told you're too loud, or maybe you think you're not creative. The self-image, our narrative identity. I have a whole nother video on narrative identity and the self-image that you tell yourself, but basically it affects how you make decisions. It affects how you process things. You're trying to find your purpose, but do you even know what's good for you? Do you even know who you are? The decisions that you make for yourself, the things that you're interested in, the things that you feel like comfortable in pursuing is based on your narrative identity. It's based on the things that you tell yourself. So you also kind of have to look at the things you're telling yourself, the reason that you're having trouble finding your purpose, or the reason that you may be pursuing the wrong purpose is because of your self-image, the story that you tell yourself that corresponds to these things. You might tell yourself you're not talented. You might tell yourself that you're not creative. And because you resonate with that description of yourself, you're most likely not going to find purpose in an artistic expression, whether it be any form of art. You know what I'm saying? And art is not just the simple basic arts. Like, it's not just the simple dancing, music, or drawing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's writing. It's, there's art in almost everything, bro. But anyways, your description of yourself is reflected into the outer world. And I have so many videos. You having problems with maybe identifying what your purpose is or feeling that you're not on your purpose, it also ties into the stories that you tell yourself, the type of person you believe yourself to be. You could be hiding your own purpose from yourself because you don't give yourself the chance to flourish in areas that you've either been told or you've grown up thinking that you're not even good at, or you just never tried. Like, I don't know. Like, what I'm saying makes sense. So if the shoe fits, that you're wearing it right now and you could keep it. Why does the shoe fit? Why are you preventing yourself from evolving? Think about it. Just think about it. I don't know. Just think about it, man. Just think about it. Low confidence plays on your thought patterns, obviously, and in return, it plays on your actions, how you take action throughout the world. Low confidence hinders what you think is possible for yourself, and it changes your outlook on what you think you're able to achieve. Looking at your confidence is a big one in figuring out what your purpose is. Making the right decision takes a couple things, okay? Are you ready? It takes trial and error. It takes mistakes. It takes redirection. You're not going to know off the bat. And that's also the beauty of it, because that's where you do get to try new things, see what you like and see what you don't like. Even if you can't figure out what you want to do, if you're able to decipher what you don't want to do or how you don't want to live, that's a good place to start, because you know where to move away from. You know what habits that are contributing to that you don't want to pick up. It takes breakdown. It takes self-reflection and a lot of it to find your purpose. Some people might just call this growing up, to be honest. It takes ups and downs. No one has come down to earth and just known their purpose and their mission off the bat, except for Jesus Christ. Like, literally the only person who just knew what they had to do and went and did it and was done. Okay, everyone else, we still trying to figure it out a little bit, and that's okay. Living the good life. Once you find your purpose, you should, at least you think, be living the good life. But what is the good life? And I kind of want to end the video with the good life based on a humanistic psychologist and therapist. His name was Carl Rogers, based on his description of what a good life is. A life of purpose, essentially. The good life is not a fixed or end state. The good life is a continual journey. It's a process. Finding your purpose is not an end state. Finding your purpose is a process. Your purpose itself is a process. If you don't like the word process, it's a direction. The good life is a direction. You're going in this direction. Achieving your purpose is a direction. It's not an end be all state. Oh, I'm at my purpose. I don't know about y'all, but I made it. You know, it's not like that. Having an open mind to experiences as opposed to being closed-minded, basically limiting yourself. Finding your purpose entails being open to experiences, not shutting down everything. Imagine you're trying to find your purpose and you're shutting down so many things. Allow your purpose to come to you and you to it. You know what I'm saying? Finding your purpose or living the good life also entails what he called existential living. And basically, I'm just summing this up as living in flow. He described existential living as, he described it as knowing or understanding that your personality comes from living different experiences in life. You know, when they say you are like the combination of all your past actions, personality comes from all these different experiences that you've been through in life. To live in this existential flow is to understand that, and not to try to make it the other way around, where you have a personality trying to have your preconceived notions about how you should experience life. You experience life and that brings you to the person you are. Not the person you are have preconceived notions about how life should be. That's backwards. I think I did a pretty good job at explaining that. Self-reflection and meditation, heavy on the meditation. You are one with the creator. Again, I say this in almost every video, but you're not the creator yourself, but you work in co-creation with the creator. You're a part of the creator. Turn inward, introspection, meditate, pray, like for real, to make things clearer, and they will become clearer. Embrace the discomfort of going after what's on the other side, of still trying to figure it out. Even the people that like look like they got it together, they're still trying to figure something else out. It doesn't stop. Even to get to where they're at, they had to figure that out too. Things are so easy to figure out nowadays with internet, with AI. Imagine people back in the day when they had no internet, literally no internet. I can't even imagine. And embrace overcoming the fear. Know that your purpose isn't just limited to one thing. Your purpose isn't just limited to one path, and it's the journey, the process. The fact that you're even asking the question of, you know, what is your purpose is a good start. And I don't remember who said this, but someone said this. They said, a life, oh my gosh, I'm about to butcher this quote. A life unquestioned isn't a life worth living. They said, someone said something like that. Okay, so did you find your final answer? Do you now know what your purpose is? Probably not, and that's okay. I would say the most important part is moving in the direction of your good life, moving in the direction of your purpose based on that hierarchy of interests, ventures, ideas that we made earlier, that you made earlier. Because you did put them in an order for a reason. Remember that the things at the top of your list, those things should be able to produce an outcome that reflects how you wrote about how you want to live your life. So even if you don't know exactly which one, if it 1, 2, 3, or 4, or a combination of all of them, at least you know where to start. At least you know what direction to move into. And it will become easier. Take time to observe. Take time to self-reflect as often as you can. This is not just a one-time thing. I just see if the things you're devoting your energy to is in fact moving you in the direction that you want to go, the person that you want to be. If this video resonated with you, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. I have so many more ideas that I want to bring to life. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you guys in my next one.